Hello, listeners. Welcome back to the Audio Listener Podcast, your daily space for English listening practice. Today's topic is a question almost every English learner asks at some point. When should I start speaking English? Some learners feel they are speaking too early. Others feel they are waiting too long. And many are stuck somewhere in between, listening, understanding more each day, but hesitating to open their mouth. In this episode, we'll talk about what speaking really means, why the timing feels confusing, and how to know when your brain is actually ready. Let's begin. The question, when should I start speaking, exists because language learning is not linear. You don't move neatly from listening to speaking like steps on a staircase. Instead, the brain builds understanding first. An expression comes later, often unevenly. Many learners assume that speaking is the proof of learning. If they are not speaking, they believe they are failing. But speaking is not the foundation of language. It is the outcome of many invisible processes that happen long before words come out smoothly. This misunderstanding creates pressure, and pressure is one of the biggest enemies of natural language development. Before you can speak comfortably, your brain must do several things silently. It must recognize sounds without effort. It must predict sentence patterns. It must understand rhythm and stress. And it must store thousands of phrases as complete units, not individual words. All of this happens during listening. When learners rush into speaking without enough exposure, they feel blocked not because they are incapable, but because the brain is still busy building its internal system. Speaking too early doesn't damage learning, but it often creates frustration and self-doubt, which slows progress emotionally. There is an important difference between practicing speaking and forcing speaking. Practicing speaking means gently using what you already understand, short responses, simple phrases, low-pressure situations. Forcing speaking means pushing yourself to sound fluent before your brain has built enough internal language. Forced speaking often leads to memorized sentences, translation in the head, and anxiety. Gentle speaking grows naturally alongside listening without stress. The goal is not to delay speaking forever, but to let it grow at the right speed. You may notice that some learners start speaking quickly, even with mistakes, while others stay silent for a long time. This difference is not about talent or intelligence. It is about personality, environment, and emotional safety. Some people are comfortable speaking imperfectly. Others need a stronger internal sense of correctness before they speak. Both paths are valid. What matters is not how soon you speak, but whether speaking feels sustainable and motivating rather than stressful. You don't need to wait for perfection to speak, but there are signs that your brain is ready for more output. These include understanding basic conversations without translating, recognizing common phrases instantly, and mentally forming responses even if you don't say them aloud. Another sign is emotional curiosity instead of fear. When you feel more interested than scared about speaking, your brain is signaling readiness. Many successful language learners go through long, silent phases. During this time, they are absorbing structure, vocabulary, and rhythm. This period often looks unproductive from the outside, but internally it is extremely active. Children experience this too. They listen for months before speaking clearly. Adults forget this because they expect visible progress immediately. Silence is not absence of learning. It is preparation. A healthy approach is to let speaking emerge naturally from listening. Start by repeating phrases quietly, then short answers, then simple opinions. Speaking should feel like an extension of understanding, not a performance. You don't need to speak a lot. You need to speak comfortably. Fluent speaking requires automatic processing. That automation only happens after massive exposure. This is why learners often understand far more than they can say. The brain always understands before it produces. Speaking fluently is not about bravery. It is about readiness. You don't start speaking English on a specific day. You grow into it quietly, gradually, naturally. Listening builds the language. Understanding stabilizes it. Speaking reveals it. If you are listening regularly, Your speaking is already forming whether you feel it or not. Thank you for listening to the Audio Listener Podcast. Share your thoughts in the comment section about my podcast.